Hey guys, so you're probably wondering why I have so many videos where I'm wearing the same shirt and I look the same. Well, that's because I've been spending all morning and part of the afternoon making videos and trying to catch up with all of these book reviews that I need to do and videos that I need to do, so just bear with me and ignore the fact that I've been wearing the same purple shirt for the last 3 videos, but I really needed to get all this stuff done. So this next book that I'm going to be reviewing is called The Divorce Party, and it is by Laura Dave. Do not let the cover of this book and the title of this book discourage you from buying it, because it has absolutely nothing to do with getting a divorce or going through a divorce or anything like that. It doesn't have anything to do with that, but it does have a considerable amount to do with divorce parties, which I had no idea people actually celebrated divorce parties until I started reading this book, so that was pretty weird. I'm married, so it was really interesting. I didn't want my husband to see this book because we were kind of having a rough time these last few weeks, and I think if he would have seen this book, he kind of would have had like a little red flag going up, but it definitely doesn't have anything to do with divorces and things like that. But it does have a lot to do with relationships and being committed in a relationship, whether it's a married one or one where you're engaged or dating with someone. I just want to say that I really love the cover of this book. I love that it has a red velvet slice of cake on there. It's really cute, and I love red velvet cake especially, and my husband loves red velvet cake, so I thought that the cover of this book was really cute. This book was a very quick read for me. It took me about 2 or 3 days to finish reading it, and I felt like I just had to finish, and I wanted to know what was going to happen in the next chapters, because every chapter always ended with a cliffhanger, so it just made me want to know what was going to happen next. So I just kept reading and reading and reading and reading, and then about on the second day I was done with it. So it's definitely a pretty short read. It didn't take me that long to finish it, and it was a really, really, really good book. I'm giving this book a 5 out of 5 stars. This has to be one of my all-time favorite books, and I don't have favorite books. There aren't any books that I have had in the past where I absolutely love them and I would read them over and over and over again. I've never had any book like that, except for maybe my Harry Potter books, but not that much. And this book is one of those few books that I feel like I can pick up at any point in time in the year, and I could just read it over and over and over again, and then still enjoy it as much as I did the first time that I read it. So this story is told in the perspective of 2 different women. One of them is Gwen Huntington, and the other one is Maggie Mackenzie. Gwen Huntington has been married to her husband for the past 35 years, and she's putting the final touches on this divorce party. Now, when we first start learning about these characters, we get the impression that this is something that they both wanted, that they feel that would be best for them and their family. But then as we start to get into the story a little more, we kind of realize that that's not the case, why they're getting a divorce at all, and Gwen doesn't really want to get a divorce at all. Then there is Maggie Mackenzie, who is engaged to Nate Huntington, and we find her sitting in her living room apartment cleaning and organizing and just kind of having a nervous breakdown because she's never met anyone in Nate's family before, and then all of a sudden they're going to go out there and go to this divorce party and she's going to meet all of these people. So she's a little bit freaked out, a little nervous, a little scared. She's been with Nate for a few years now, and that's saying a lot because she has really big commitment issues, and some of these issues that she used to have are basically her finding the littlest things and just using them as an excuse to get out of the relationship. But for some reason in this relationship, she feels like she knows everything about Nate and Nate knows everything about her, and she feels like they have really good communication and really good chemistry, and so she hasn't felt the need to have to get out of the relationship. So she's a little bit nervous about going to meet his family. In this story, there was a lot of information that was being withheld from these 2 main characters throughout their relationship, and when they find out what some of these things are, it ends up causing a lot of trouble for them. So these 2 characters are faced with the decision as to whether or not they should stay in the relationships that they're in or if they should go. And I guess a perfect question for these characters that is written in the back of the book is, how hard should you work to stay with the person you love? I don't want to give away too much information on some of the things that are being withheld to these characters, because I don't want to spoil the story for those of you guys who decide that you might want to pick this up. But some of it you kind of catch on as you keep reading, and you kind of guess what it is. Some of you guys might guess it. I know that this was exactly what I was thinking when I was reading Gwen Huntington's chapters. I kind of figured out why it was that they were having this divorce party and why they were getting a divorce, but I wasn't 100% sure. The way that it played out and the way that the author told the story as far as what Gwen was going through it was so cool. It was just the way that it was executed was just, I was like, it was awesome. The way that it was executed was awesome. I have to say that Gwen's character was my favorite character. I love reading her chapters instead of reading Maggie's chapters. Her chapters were okay. There was a lot of things that went on with Maggie's character that were just like over the top. Why wouldn't you tell somebody this really important piece of information? So her chapters were pretty interesting too. They were pretty crazy, but I definitely have to say that my favorite character and my favorite chapters were Gwen's chapters, just because it kind of makes your jaw drop, some of the things that she discovers and some of the things that go on in her marriage. And it's just, it's crazy. It's really, really, really a good book. If you guys want to read something that talks about relationships and commitment and kind of makes you think about how committed you are to your relationship or how you should be, I would definitely recommend reading this book, because it really made me think about my relationship with my husband. Like, I really thought about it and thought about how much effort I put into my relationship and how much effort maybe I should be putting into my relationship. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed this book. I am giving this book a 5 out of 5 star rating. I should probably give it like an extra star because of this really yummy red velvet cake on the cover right here. But it was a really, really, really good book. Like I said, I would definitely reread this book at any point in time, because it is now officially my favorite book to reread. And yeah, if you guys are interested in this book, definitely check it out. And thanks for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!